Guys, I'm going to turn it over to my buddy Harlan. Harlan, let's talk for 2 minutes and then I'm going to get out of here. And this is going to be your show today, the Harlan Hall Show. You should have the HH in the back like you always have. I like the logo. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. How are you?
Man, I am fantastic. We've got a bunch of people showing up in probably 15 minutes here. We've got a training starting at 10 o'clock live in person. Marie and I are going to be doing it. And we're so excited for the people that are showing up here today, man. But I'm pumped up as well.
Yep. Well, it's an amazing day. It's an amazing time. There's a lot of good things going on. So I'm really excited to kind of talk to everybody. Last minute, but guess what? We're gonna do something special today, y'all. We're gonna do something special. It's always gonna be something special happening.
Harlan, if you can record this, it only shows me recording to cloud because I know you're going to say something today that's going to impact somebody's
Recording
life.
in progress.
And there you go. All right. Well, Harlan, man, I appreciate you. 2-star ambassador. Your team is exploding. You've got wonderful leaders all over the place. Can't wait to hang out. We need to decide. I was going to call you and ask you the Wednesday before the conference. Like you guys came over here and just dominated our place over here and you and Chris did an unbelievable presentation. Let me know if you guys want to do that on a Tuesday or Wednesday or on a Sunday. Let us know if you guys want to do that same thing again. And we'll start building for it and get people over here and have you guys do the presentation. Maria and I will host it with you. If that's a deal, let me know. If not, not a big deal. Harlan, turn it over to you. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All right. So, first of all, I do want to say, everyone, happy Saturday to you. It's always a blessing, first of all, to wake up, right? That's where the very beginning of our day starts is when we open our eyes and we breathe and we get out of bed. So I'm excited. I don't know about you, but I am excited to be able to get my day started just that way. So, listen, this is not going to be it's going to be an impromptu, not long training. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a lot about how to actually build this business and some of the things that actually happens and some of the things that a lot of people are experiencing. And the reason why is because this is common things that I actually hear, people say to me that they may have issues with. One of the things, we literally just had a breakout session just Thursday, and we were talking about how life be life. And can anybody relate to that term, life be lifing? It's like, if it's something that's going to happen, trust me, it's going to happen, right? And a lot of times we try to figure out how in the world can we get through it, right? How can we handle all of the trials and tribulations that we go through in our lives and still be able to build a business, still be able to enjoy our lives, still be able to have the type of fun that we actually want to have? And it became an interesting conversation because the real story behind it is that a lot of people are really thinking, how can they get to the next rank? And so when they start thinking about it's taking them too long to get to the next rank because there's all these different factors in life that happens and that gets in their way. And it's like, just things, medical issues, financial issues, family issues, all these different things start to happen. And you're trying to figure out, like, I'm pushing, like, what do I do? How can I get to the next rank and go through all of the things that we're going through? Well, I'm going to tell y'all something right now. First of all, you need to understand one thing. This is a marathon, not a race. All right? Now, fast is fun. Make no mistake about it. Fast is fun. But when life starts life and when things start happening in your life, you have to realize that those things they're there, right? They are there. And there are things that needs to be handled and taken care of in order for you to build a business, right? I believe in faith, family, and fun. That's my order. Faith, family, fun, right? The fun is our business, all right? That's the fun part. So the first thing is faith. right? You have to have the faith in you to be able to get through all of this. That's the first thing. You have to have the faith to be able to go through all of this. Family is next, because without family, what is there? Here's what's interesting. The reason why a lot of us do this is for our family, right? So that's the beauty and the benefit of it, is that you can combine the family and the business together, because this is what we do it for. You want to make sure that you're not ignoring obligations. You want to make sure that the things that will affect you, especially with your family, that you give it the proper attention. And I guarantee you that every leader in this company will tell you the exact same thing. All right. Like if you're doing a Zoom, if I'm doing this training right now, and an emergency happened with one of my family members, and they need me and I have to go, listen, that's family. Hey, listen, the meeting, listen, guys, we're gonna have to cancel the meeting. I have an emergency that happened, and I guarantee you everyone on here will understand that, right? But you have to be the deciding factor of what that looks like. Because sometimes you can have situations that doesn't require dire attention, but you make an excuse so that it causes you not to do the things that you can do to be successful in this business. Let me give you an example. My nephew was getting married. I had scheduled one of my team members had a travel party that was scheduled. And so I was thinking, he ended up the travel party was scheduled prior to him telling us when the wedding and all of those things were going on. However, he had a rehearsal dinner, and it was at a really nice restaurant. And I told him, listen, I'll be at your wedding, but I'm not going to be able to make the rehearsal dinner. And my nephew and I are very, very close. I'm kind of like a dad to him. I said, I'm going to have to miss your rehearsal dinner because I have a travel event that I have to do. And he understood. But here's the thing, is that it's the sacrifices that you have to make, but you determine what those sacrifices are. You determine what means the most to you so that you can get what it is that you want. Now, here's what I also tell you is the sacrifices determine how much you want. So, or what you're willing to do for what you want, right? That's how you determine the level of sacrifice that you're going to make. So if you're saying to yourself, oh, I really want to be an ambassador in this company, but you kind of just going about it as if it'll happen when it happens, or maybe it'll happen, then guess what happens? Now your sacrifices, you're not willing to make the big sacrifices at that point, because you don't have the desire deep enough to want to be an ambassador, so that the value of what you're sacrificing is high. And I hope you understand what I mean by that. But if you're saying to yourself, you know what, if you're all in and all you've been thinking about is getting to that ambassador level for whatever your why is, whatever your reason is, you know what your reason is. But if you start thinking about that, then the value, and you're serious about it, then the value of your sacrifices start to increase. Right now, you start to miss birthday parties. Now you start to miss celebrations. Now you start to miss events and activities of family members, friends, kids. Right now, you start to miss things. You're canceling appointments. Right, some of the things that you maybe even have scheduled already. Now you're willing to cancel those and be like, you know what, this is more important because I'm after something. See, this is what has happened to me. I remember when I first got started, and a friend of mine was telling me, about being in this industry. Oh, you're going to get in this industry, and you really, you're not going to make any money. All these different things he said, right? You're not going to make any money. You need to do something different. Work. Get a business, whatever. And when I heard that, the only thing that I thought about was putting on blinders and having tunnel vision. And so what that meant is that there were a lot of sacrifices that I was going to make. One of the things that I knew was I was going to prove him wrong. Being a 2-star ambassador, I think I did a pretty good job of proving him wrong. All right. But here's the thing. I put on blinders. And when I put on blinders, that means that every single activity, everything that came up, I had to rate it on whether it was valuable enough for me to take my attention away from building the business versus going to do whatever that activity was. And I've realized that a lot of things that we think has that value doesn't have that value, right? All of the different holidays that come up. There are more holidays that are coming up, y'all. Trust me when I tell you. When you got the Super Bowl coming up, when you got the NBA championship games, all of these things, these people are already making their money. We're spending money to watch them play while we don't have the money to enjoy our lives the same way they do. So the value is not there. I'm not sacrificing building a business for my family to go watch an NBA game, to watch an NFL game, to go to one. I'm not sacrificing the value of building my family for going to a concert or somebody invite me to their house for a cookout or anything like that. I'm just not going to do it. It's not happening, all right? And so you have to ask yourself, what are you willing to give up? Now, here's what I will tell you also. If you want to be successful in Trevorium, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. There is a price to pay. Please know this. There's a price that you have to pay. You have to determine whether you're going to pay that price. I'm going to get a little bit biblical with y'all. I'm going to get just small. But you got to realize, all the price that was paid for our sins, right? All the things that God had to go through, all the things that Jesus Christ went through, all the things that he went through to pay for our sins was a huge, huge, huge sacrifice. The thing is that for a man who bared his life on the cross to sacrifice for our sins, we should be able to sacrifice all the things that are far less painful than that. But the trials and tribulations are going to be there. God has a lot in store for everybody, but he's not just going to hand it to you. He puts it there for you, and he's testing you to see what are you going to do to get it. That's why it's called a testament and a testimony, because there's a test in it. So you have to go through something in order for you to have what's there for you. One thing that I realize is that anything worth having is going to be a process to actually get it. You're going to go through something to get it. So when you're building this business, the first thing you need to do is you need to realize it's not going to be easy. Is the process simple? Yes. All we do is we literally share information with people on how to save money, right? How to travel the world and get paid by saving money. That's exactly what we do. The process is simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy. The reason why is because like Julian Bernard has always said this, the number one reason most people do not succeed in this industry, and I'm going to say in Trevorium, is because their feelings get hurt. They allow their emotions to be tied to what it is that they're after. The moment you can take your emotions out of it is the moment you start to realize you're in a business and that you can have the success that you want. But you know who your biggest obstacle is you. The biggest battle that you will ever have in your life is against yourself. The reason why is because your subconscious mind has been developed since you were a child. And so the biggest battle is with your subconscious mind. Now, the subconscious mind has its pros and cons, right? It has its pluses and minuses. The benefit of your subconscious mind is it shows you what's rational. It does what's rational, right? It tells you, hey, don't touch that fire, because subconsciously you already know if I touch this fire, I'm going to get burned, right? It becomes a protector, right? It keeps you comfortable. And that's what happens. But the con is that it prevents you from getting out of your comfort zone. So your biggest battle is your conscious mind against your subconscious mind, telling yourself, hey, listen, I know that I'm used to doing this. I know that I'm comfortable doing this, but I want to go outside of that. Your conscious mind is telling you, don't do it. Don't do it. You've never done it before. Don't do it. You're going to get hurt. Don't do it. Your feelings are going to get hurt. Don't do it. You're not going to succeed. You tried this before. It didn't work. Oh, don't do it. You saw what happened to such when they did it. Don't do it, right? Your subconscious mind does that, but it does it to protect you, but it also limits you. That's what keeps you from having what it is that you want. So when you are able to fight your subconscious mind, when you're able to go in there and say, you know what, my subconscious mind is telling me, oh, I feel a little twitch in my back right now. So I had planned on going to work out, but maybe I shouldn't. Yeah, your subconscious mind is telling you that. But if your conscious mind says that, nope, don't do it. I'm not allowing you to tell me that that little twitch that I feel is going to stop me from going downstairs and getting on this treadmill or lifting these weights. I'm not going to let it happen. When you can win the battle of that, that's how you can win being successful, especially in Trevorium. You have to fight it. So everything that you're experiencing, everything that gets you to where you want to go is a battle with you and your subconscious mind. You have to fight to win that battle. Now, I don't have the book sitting right here with me, but one of the ways I learned how to win that battle is I had to read books. And I had to read books that showed me what I'm capable of and who I am and how I can dominate who I am. You have the ability to dominate who you are. Your subconscious mind, you can literally dominate your subconscious mind, but you have to understand that you can do it, right? You have to understand what it takes to be able to do it. And when you do that, that's when it is that things start to fall in place for you. That's when it is that you're able to get through barriers because you're not allowing the comfortability of your subconscious mind to hold you back, all right? Those are the things that it takes. Now, all of this that I'm talking about is important to being able to build the business because the prospecting part is just a system, right? It's just a system. Everybody can do the prospecting part the same exact way. Everybody, you don't have to change it. Everybody can do the prospecting part the same way. But what matters is how you do it and what you believe and how you do it. That's the difference, right? How you talk to people. People can read you, right? People can read whether you're confident, whether you believe in what it is you're saying, whether you're excited about what it is you're saying. People read you, and that's how it is that they determine on whether they want to listen to what you have to say or not, all right? So you have to get to a point where you actually build your mindset up so that you're properly armored to go out and do the business. If you're not, here's what happens. You're going to be around people that can easily drain you. They can easily have you second guessing your decisions. Somebody can tell you that they got a trip that, say you went to Jamaica and you paid $579 total for 2 people, right? All inclusive, 5-star. You went, you had an amazing time. Somebody can tell you, oh, well, we went to Jamaica and we paid $200 and we stayed at a 5-star all inclusive. And, and ours came with, with flights. Ours came with a gift on the room, on the bed and everything. And then have you second guessing yourself like, wow, they got me. They got me. They got something better than what I have. Let me tell you something. You have to be confident enough to know that no matter what they say, no matter how they say it, no matter what they said, what you have is better than what they have. What you have, and the reason why I say that is because a lot of people will do that just to try to challenge you to make you think what you have isn't good. They'll tell stories knowing that they did not stay in Jamaica, probably never even went to Jamaica, knowing they didn't go to Jamaica, knowing they didn't pay $200 for anything, but they want to challenge you to see where you stand, like if you're going to combat with them and say something different or something better. So they'll challenge you, but you got to be confident enough in what this is to say, you know what, listen, you can say all you want, but show me that you went to Jamaica for $200 total for 2 people and stayed at a 5-star all-inclusive and your flight was included. You paid for it, right? Show it to me. Let me see your receipt. Show it to me if you did. If you did what you say you did, show it to me. Then here comes the stuttering, right? Now you know they're testing you, right? They're testing you. You have to have the confidence to say, listen, no matter what you say, you can't do it the way that we do it. I'm telling you flat out. You know what that confidence brings? That confidence breaks them down to say, okay, you know what? They got me. Maybe I might need to listen, even if it's not right now. But maybe I might need to listen to them because they stood firm on what they believe. You know how it is when you believe in something so strong, you can't be broken no matter what it is. If you believe in it strong enough, you can't be broken. There's nothing anybody can do. Like when you talk about your kids, right? Somebody can talk about their kids versus your kid. Your kid could not have played sports. Your kid could not have not been in any type of clubs or anything, and somebody else starts bragging about their kids to you against your kids, guarantee you're gonna outbrag them about your kids. You're not gonna let them. You have enough confidence in your child that you like, okay, I'm not gonna sit here and let you talk about how your child is better than my child. It's not gonna happen. You can forget about it. All right. So it's the same exact thing. You have to have that level of confidence when you're actually building Trevorium, because when you do, people feed off of that confidence. All right. Whenever it is that I'm out, I did a training in the back office on posture. You all probably should go back there and look at it on posture. I think posture is really huge in this business. And the reason I say that is because whenever it is that I'm out and I'm talking to people, it's the way I carry myself, right? It's the way I walk. It's the way I talk. It's because of the belief that I have in who I am and the belief that I have in what I do. And so when I'm walking and I'm talking, I have my shoulders back, my head is upright, straight. I talk, I project vocally and verbally with force, with power to let you know that I'm here and that my presence will be known, right? You have to feel that way whenever you're prospecting somebody, whenever you're talking to somebody. Because if I approach somebody and I'm like, hey, listen, do you like to travel? And they're like, oh yeah, I love travel all the time. Oh, for real? Oh, well, I'm in this travel club and we got wholesales, we get the membership, and with the membership we can save money on our cell phone bill and all and this kind of stuff. And now here's what happens. That person is looking at you like, oh, here we go. Right here we go. You see, you're trying to do your best to sell me something, right? That's what you're trying to do, and it's not going to work. But imagine if you walk up to them and you sitting there and you like, let me ask you a question. Yeah, you like to travel? And they're like, yeah, I travel all the time. Okay, like where? Name me some places that you like to go. Tell me some places you've been. When they start naming places you've been, oh man, it's beautiful there, isn't it? Yeah. Man, so let me ask you another question. Imagine if you can travel the same places that you went, same type of places that you went, but it costs you half or sometimes next to nothing for you to go and not compromise the quality of what you experience. Wouldn't you be down for wanting to save a whole lot of money to do the same thing you're already doing? And they'd be like, absolutely. I'm just asking, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you're okay with spending money you don't have to spend. Right? And then they're like, oh no, if I can save money, I'm down. Oh, okay. That's good. Because I was just wondering, because I know me. I'm not trying to spend money unnecessarily. I won't do it. And I travel a lot. I've been to Costa Mujeres, Mexico twice. I went to Jamaica, stayed at 5-star all-inclusive, and what would have cost me $5,000-$10,000 to pay it, I'm talking about hundreds. So and they're like, what? Yeah. So now, at that point, well, I can show you how it is that you can do that. All right, what are you doing tonight? Let's exchange information. Get their information. That's that. You can invite them to a Zoom. You can invite them to a live travel party. But the biggest thing is inviting them to see the information. Now, I'm gonna tell everybody on this Zoom where most people go wrong. If you just got started, listen to me. If you're on this Zoom and you just got started with us, this is more important for you than anybody else. Anybody, right? You have to learn how to invite by not talking about what Trevorium is to people. You have to learn how to actually invite somebody to see it rather than try to give them buzzwords enough talking to get them to say, yes, I want to see or I want to hear about it, right? All you need to do is be really good at sharing enough information, and that information is really, really simple. It's so many different ways, but it's really simple. Do you like to travel? Yes, I love to travel. Okay. If I can show you a way that you can travel at wholesale all over the globe and not compromise the quality of your experiences, wouldn't that be something you would want to know about? And they'd be like, well, absolutely. I figured you would. All right, listen, I'm going to take your information. I'm busy right now, can't talk about it, but listen, let's exchange information and I'll send you something and then we'll talk about this a little later. All right? Absolutely. Get their information, you're done. Next thing you know, hey, this is Harlan. Remember when we was talking about you traveling, saying that you was down for saving money without compromising the quality of your experiences? Yep. Well, guess what? Tonight, we're going to be showing people how they can do that. Would you like to be on that call to see how you can do that? And if they say yes, great. I'm going to send you a link. It starts at 7 o'clock. Be on there at 6:55, and I'll be on there with you, all right? You're going to love it. You can thank me later, but, this is what we do. If they say no, I'm free, okay, well, then I tell you what. Whenever it is that you're available or that you think that you might want to see it, just give me a call, all right? Because one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to become a salesperson and you don't want to chase people. The reason why you don't want to chase people, now you can follow up. That's different. Following up is different than chasing someone, all right? You can follow up with them later, but you say, oh, okay, so you don't have to, all right, cool. Well, I'll get back with you some other time. Maybe whenever it is that you're available and you want to see it and you want to save money, you have my information, reach out to me, right? Now, maybe 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, you send them a message and say, hey, I knew a couple of weeks ago it wasn't good for you to jump on the Zoom. Maybe you might have time tonight because we're doing something special tonight. You might want to get on this one, all right? I know you missed the last one that we did, but you might want to get on this one if you're available. That's the follow-up, right? That's the follow-up. Now, what we tend to do is we tend to go out and we tend to talk to people and we try to convince them. It's almost like trying to convince them to actually ask for your link immediately, like right there. Okay, send me your link. I'll sign up, and they haven't seen anything. Why? Because what does that look like? You ask somebody, do they like to travel? They say, yeah, they love to travel. Then you start telling them, oh, well, I'm in this travel club. And that's number one. You do not say that. That's number one. I'm in this travel club. Do not say that. Listen to me. I'm telling you. All right. I'm in this travel club and we can travel at wholesale. And, you'll be like, we can travel at wholesale. We got trips all over like Dubai and all of that. And then we get discounts on cell phone. We get discounts out on eating. And then, and if you tell 3 people and you get the membership, you don't even have to pay the monthly membership, right? And it's ways that you can make money, like they're giving away cars and all. And so when you start doing all of that, the person is just sitting there like no, like I'm not. The crazy thing about it is what you're telling them is true, right? It's all accurate information that you're telling them. The problem is that it's coming from you without them being able to see it for themselves. If they can't hear everything, don't tell them anything. All right. So they need to be able to get onto a Zoom or into a live presentation, and they need to see it the way you saw it. And what's actually interesting too is when you think about it, it's like, okay, what do I do? How do I introduce this to somebody? The funny part about it is that if you really think about it, how was it introduced to you, right? Kind of sometimes you got to look, well, let me think. How did I get to see this? What was done when I did somebody sit there and try to explain a whole bunch to you, right? Were they going over a whole lot of things? Or did they do enough to get you to be like, yes, I want to be onto this Zoom, all right? So you just want to make sure that you're not talking too much because when you start over talking, that's when it is you lose people. Now, another thing we talked about Thursday that I'm going to share with you guys is, what does the person do who feel like they've already burned out the people that they know, right? What do you do with the people who, hey, Harlan, all that you telling me, I did that already. I did it, and now nobody wants to hear from me because I've already talked to everybody. I talked to 100, 150 people the way you said not to, and now I feel like I don't have anybody else to talk to. Number one, you do, because every time you step foot out that door, you have somebody to talk to. But here's what you can do. All of those people, you can go right back to each and every one of them. And this is what this looked like. If I will come back to you and I say, listen, remember when I was trying to tell you about the travel thing that I was doing, a few weeks ago or a month ago or 6 months ago, whatever. You know what? I want to apologize. Listen, it was ignorance on fire. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was talking about. I just got excited. I started rambling, trying to tell you all kinds of stuff. I had no earthly idea what I was talking about and what I was doing. So please accept my apology, because what I did was I told you so much stuff that the benefit of it, you weren't able to get the benefit of what it really is, because I didn't know what I was doing when I was talking to you. So to correct that, erase all of that stuff that I said. I want you to see something that I now know. And then you're going to be like, wow, all that stuff you was rambling about is nowhere near what I'm looking at right here. That's how you're able to get them back in front of you to actually see this presentation, all right? And another way you can do it is you can have another person on the Zoom, on the phone with you. So a three-way, right? You can always do a three-way and have that person be the one to say, hey, listen, yeah, he was really excited. She didn't know what was going on. She just knows she saw us having a lot of fun traveling all over the place. She just got started, called you up. We call it ignorance on fire, right? And now what she did was she did you a disservice, because you have no earthly idea what it is that you're missing out on. You don't know what it is that you're missing out on. And now here's what we're going to do though, but we're going to help resolve that. Only thing we feel like you should do is at least be able to see what it is that you could possibly say no to or yes to. That's it. But the one thing is for sure is that you do need to see it. Now, whether you say yes or no, we're really not too concerned about that. But for your sake, you do need to see it. That way, now a person feel like, okay, you're not trying to sell them, right? You're not trying to force them on anything. You're just telling them, listen, you might want to watch this. All right, especially if you like traveling or if you like saving money, I think you need to see this. That's the kind of posture and that's the kind of belief that you have to have when you start sharing this with other people, all right? Whenever it is that you're introducing this, and it'll take you a long way. Now, the list, Daryl and Maria Roberts are really famous about that list. I know there was one other person, who was it? It was Larissa Berg. She was talking about writing that list of 150 people. You need to write that list down, and you need to make sure you go through that list. But I'm going to give y'all one more key thing. It's the last key thing that I'm going to tell you about how it is that you can move forward in this business the way you want to. You have to be willing to talk to somebody that is not below the level of standard you think. And what I mean by that is most of us are comfortable talking to somebody that maybe in a job position that's lower than us, like maybe you work at Walmart, or maybe you're a waitress, or maybe you're a bartender, or maybe all these types of jobs. The reason why you feel comfortable talking to them is because you feel like, well, you're more successful than them, so you're able to posture up with them and tell them how it is that they can get out of the situation that they're in, right? You know what? You got to stop doing that. Here's the reason why. It's because the reason why most people are in the situations that they're in is because of the decisions that they've already made and because of the mindset that they already have. And so if you really want to build this business, and not saying that they can't change that, not saying don't talk to them, but what I am saying is you need to recruit up. You need to talk to people who make more money than you do, who have jobs that are better than yours. People who are entrepreneurs, people who are go-getters, people who are fun, that's who you need to be talking to, because those are the people who make decisions. Those are the people who are after something. I mean, the evidence is in their life, in their lifestyle. The evidence is in their accomplishments. So imagine me going to talk to somebody to work at Walmart and tell them, hey, get this membership, $369.95, one time, $135 a month. You can travel all over the globe, get 3 people. You never pay that monthly membership again, and I can show you how you can get paid. And they're like, well, I'm trying to figure out if my paycheck is going to be $369. And now you're talking about me getting into this business, right? So now, but imagine if you're talking to somebody that travels. somebody that has a business or a part-time business or a business owner, somebody that has disposable income, somebody that's looking for more, somebody that may be working a 9-to-5 job making six figures, and they're like, listen, I'm working this 9-to-5 job, I'm making six figures, but my retirement is coming up soon. I got to figure out what I'm going to do, right? Imagine talking to people like that who have the money to put there. Those are the people you need to talk to. Those are business owners. You need to talk to business owners, people who own salons, people who own companies. It doesn't matter. Those are the people that you should be talking to. But you got to have the confidence enough to be able to approach them. You can't look at them to say, hey, you know, like they make more money than you, and you put yourself down here when you talk to them. No, you have to talk to them at their level or above their level. All right, listen, I know you own the business, and I know you're, but here, let me ask you a question. Right now, when you go to work, the only way you're going to get paid is because you have to show up, right? You're on a barbershop, but if you're not cutting hair, you're not making any money. I mean, is that safe to say? Absolutely, right? If something would have happened to your hands or you would get in an accident, then now your business is gone. You're no longer able to cut hair. What are you going to do now? What are you going to do next, right? So you have to be able to posture up with people to talk to them to say, hey, listen, I'm telling you what I know about how it is that you can become financially successful. And some people say, yeah, well, Harlan, that's easy for you to say. You're a 2-star ambassador. You're going to talk to somebody like that. I was talking to people like this when I was 0 left and 0 right. I was talking to people like this when I was 0 left and 0 right. You know why? Because I knew what was possible. I knew the belief that I had in myself. I knew where I was going. I knew what I wanted, but I also knew that they want the same thing that I want. So you're no different. You're working a job, you're owning a business, you're working for your money the same way I'm working for my money. Yeah, you may own a business, but you're still working. You got to work the business. I may work a 9-to-5 job, but I'm still working. I got to work the business. All right, a lot of people think because you own a business means that you're financially wealthy. Listen, there are expenses. Let me tell y'all something. Just because you own a business doesn't mean that you're financially free. Make no mistake about it, all right? Those people have expenses and salaries and all that have to pay. And the money that's left over, they have to get a salary out of that and have money to be able to run the business. There's people who have 9-to-5 jobs that make more money than some people who own a business. I'm telling y'all facts. I'm telling you facts, all right? So now, I'm telling you, just because they own a business doesn't mean that you can that you need to be, look down on when you're talking to them. Talk to them on the same level that they are or above. Listen, I have something where you can literally make money while you sleep. I have something that can be a backup to what you're doing right now, so that when you're ready to call it the quits, you're already set. My father is 84 years old. My father used to own a business, y'all. Word processing. I don't know if y'all even know what that is. It's like desktop publishing. He used to own a word processing business. And my father has always been an entrepreneur. And he worked, right? But he always wanted to work for himself. Here's the problem. My father started getting into his 60s, into his 70s, and that business didn't make my father wealthy. That business didn't set my father up for retirement. It didn't. It didn't set him up for it. So guess what? 75 working contracts. Now, the business is closed at this point because he can't run it anymore. 74, 75, he's still working. 78, still doing stuff. 79, still working. 80, still working. 82, finding contracts to work on so that he can make money, right? Because the businesses didn't set it up for him to retire. I'm telling y'all, you need to be able to talk to everybody because the picture isn't always the way it looks. It's not. The picture is not always the way it looks. So you just have to have the confidence to talk to everybody and be able to start recruiting up. When you start recruiting up, that's when it is that you're going to start having success in this business. All right. So I hope that gives you guys something to start your weekend off with. I hope that gives you something to actually run with. There's a book called Pro Code that Eric Worre just brought out. Pro Code, Procode. I think you should get that book. But the book that really changed my life is there's a book called Think Like a Winner by Dr. Walter Doyle, Doyle Staples. Think Like a Winner by Dr. Walter Staples. That book will have you it'll have you on a whole nother level because it teaches you the difference between the successful people and those who are not. And the best part about it is everything you need to be successful, you possess it. You just have to learn how to, you need to learn how to let it out. You need to learn how to actually do these things. And it all comes in the belief. All right. So with that, I want y'all to have an amazing, amazing weekend. I want y'all to go out here and I want you to build a business. Build the business for yourself. I want you to go out here and I want you to talk to people. There's people out here who need us, y'all. There's so many people. When you're walking around outside, you can be standing 3 feet next to the one person that can take you to the top of this company, but you let them walk right by you. You let them walk. You let them get right in their car, pull off, and go on. They can be in a Rolls Royce. They can be in a Lamborghini. They can be, and you thinking they don't need this. They in a Lamborghini. You don't know a person's situation. Step up, elevate yourself, speak to that person, share and get information. One is that they can feel off of your confidence, right? So when you're talking to them, talk to them with confidence. If I'm talking to somebody in a Ferrari and I'm in a Honda Accord, the way I'm talking to them, they're gonna be like, well, you talking to me like you in a Lamborghini. You talking to me like you in a Ferrari. That's right. I am talking to you like that because I am. Right here, I am. So that's how you have to prospect. All right. So with that, I want y'all to have an amazing weekend. Let's go win big. See, I hope everybody on here got their tickets to the conference, because that's where the magic happens, is at the conference. I don't care. Some people are like, oh, I went to the conference last year and we're going to hear the same thing again this year. And listen, there's two things about conferences. One, sometimes you're going to hear something that may click with you that you didn't hear the first time. And number two, it's like energy, right? You have to be revived. The reason why you go to conferences a lot of times is because your energy level needs to be raised back up. And you need to have the motivation to say to yourself, you know what? You're right. I've been slipping. I've been focused on all these other things that didn't matter. But here I am watching these people who are zoned in and they're creating financial freedom. You watching people have the financial freedom that you dream about happen. And when you go to that conference, all it does is put things back in perspective for you. And now you come back on fire. And that's why a lot of people sign people up from the conference, because they have that excitement in them while they're there that they're able to call back home and get people to sign up. All right. It's because that's what the conferences do to you. So see y'all in Atlanta. And not Atlanta, I'm sorry, not in Atlanta. We're in Atlanta too. But I'll see y'all in Vegas, in Las Vegas, Nevada. And we're going to have an amazing time out there, y'all. And we're going to win big. All right. So with that, I want y'all to have an amazing weekend. Until next weekend, y'all have a good one.